Am I recording? Yeah, you have to press this freaking thing twice. Twice, whatever, I hate these things. It's me again. Yes, I'm in the same clothes from last time. I'm recording it in the same afternoon. The fucking veil has been lifted. Guess what? This is what content creators do all the time. I'm sorry to shatter your illusion. It's more efficient to do it this way. Anyway, let's get into this week's episode of why Reg didn't release this particular one. It was actually recorded in this very room, but over there's a sofa over there. Cut to shot of sofa with loads of clothing on it.
I just realised it actually wasn't even this sofa, it was the big red one, which I've since destroyed. Never mind.
It was an attempt to do a sequel to a much earlier vlog, much like I did with Hot Vlog 2, which I actually enjoyed doing more than the first one. I tried to do another Hot Potatoes one, and I was ranting about shit. I think the reason why I binged this one off is because I felt it was a little bit contrived, and it felt like I was trying to live up to what I was doing before, but I genuinely think the Hot Potatoes one that went out in 2014 was way better and way more entertaining. So without further ado, let's have a look at Reg trying to stumble his way through hot topic subjects. Bear in mind, this was 2019, this is before 2020 happened. I think that's also it. I sat on it for so long, and when I was actually going to edit it last year, and I was thinking, none of this matters now because we're in a global pandemic. So, fuck me, I guess.
Hello and welcome to the first vlog I've done in about 9 months. I know it's been a bit of a gap this time. People could even have had a child in the time it's taken me to do a new vlog, and in fact someone I know has had a child in that time, so congratulations Phil for squeezing out a small child. Well, you didn't do it, your fiance did. So anyway, I was looking back at some old videos I did, and the one I did in 2014 about shit stories in the news that pissed me off, called Hot Potatoes, kind of grabbed my attention, and it's made me think there's quite a lot that's happened in the interim between that video and this video. So let's delve into just some of the stupid news stories that have really wound me up lately, I guess. Without further ado, let's get into it. Actually, before I get into any of that, let's just do a little bit of the usual catch-up bollocks. I've moved into a house with my girlfriend now, so I am a massive homo. Nah. Our next door neighbours are a little bit loud. They have gone out now, hence why I've decided to do this vlog now, because they usually just scream at each other all the time, and it's just really intense. The garden is about the same size as the garden that my parents used to have back in the village that I grew up in. It's reawakened the country bumpkin in me just a little, I think. Right, anyway, all that crap's out of the way, let's get straight into it. Politics. As you may be aware, there's a few major things that's made everyone have to pay attention to them, really. Let's start overseas with Donald Trump. What can I say about Donald Trump that hasn't already been said? I mean, I can't believe that a man who was a sort of minor celebrity and billionaire has decided to become president of the United States, although that wouldn't be the first time that's happened. The thing is, he's a geriatric, bigoted toddler. I can't believe that somebody like that would ever be able to be in a position of power that substantial without somebody going, hold on a second, let's put the brakes on here. Who is this absolute moron, and why is he deciding to enforce all of these weird things that previous presidents have tried with varying degrees of success to implement? He's just undone it all and then some, you know. Let's build a big fucking wall between USA and Mexico to keep dem immigrants out. Fucking idiot. He doesn't believe in climate change. He actually actively denies climate change, and that's probably one of his biggest sins, other than that hair. But that's an entirely whole different sack of hot potatoes there, isn't it? So there's that happening over in America. But in the United Kingdom, we've got a similar amount of shit. Excuse me. In the form of Boris Johnson. I mean, how can you trust a man that looks like an overcooked slice of gammon topped with some gone-off spaghetti bolognese? The man is a complete tool. Testament to that is the fact that almost everybody, even on his side, has just quit or turned against him. I don't know what goes on in these people's heads. Why two of the biggest, most talked about or revered superpowers in the world, helmed by these clowns, these utter, unfit for purpose tit heads, and they've ruined so much, and they're just going to drive the country, nay, possibly the world, to the brink of extinction, where we're kind of doing that ourselves, but they're certainly not helping, are they? What the fuck is going on? I'm trying to keep it quite broad, because if we go too into this, it will turn into just the biggest, longest rant you've ever heard, and I might descend into incomprehensible yelling, might even morph into something completely unknown to me through sheer rage and frustration. I don't think the world is ready for that. Boris Johnson is not helping with Brexit either, but I don't think anyone's really helping. It's the kind of thing, I don't think even in my lifetime we'll ever see a true Brexit, because no one can make their fucking minds up. At this point, I don't care if we remain or we leave, as much as the fact that we just need to do one or the other. I was on, camp Remain. What's the fucking point? It doesn't seem to be happening either way, so just get the fuck on with it. Just stop sitting on the fence. Just do something. Jump off into the void. See what happens. At least we'll be making some kind of progress rather than just circling the drain. Just having people at the very top just arguing with each other and then the country just going to shit in the interim. Someone's screaming outside. See, it's that bad that people outside are screaming. Anyway, that's Brexit. No more Brexit. I'm full of Brexit. I just need some blunch. So basically, we're all screwed as far as that goes. So that's politics for you. But the other reason why we're screwed is because there's a large percentage of people you'd think to be otherwise rational thinkers believe that the Earth is not a sphere, as unequivocally proven by decades of science and even thousands of years of astronomy. It's round, right? It's round. It's a fucking ball that spins around on its axis, which then spins around the sun. Yes, everybody knows that. People in the 21st century, in the advent of the internet, the height of the internet, they believe that the Earth is actually just a flat disc, like Discworld, I guess, but less fun. And I watched a documentary relatively recently where they go into facts of how they can prove this. They go as far as conducting scientific experiments, which then work against their favour, but then they find a way to explain their way out of it. The level of cognitive dissonance with these people would make some cultists blush. You would see people that believe in some kind of jelly that comes from the moon that is controlling our brains going, hold on a second, the Earth's round, not flat. They can even shine a light on their own ridiculous claims. They will understand that objectively what they believe in is ridiculous. That these people do not believe that what they believe is ridiculous to anyone. They just think that everyone else is wrong and it's a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. You're a fucking idiot. Read a science book. Look around you. Look at the facts that have been presented through decades of scientific research and shut the fuck up. I thought originally this was like some sort of internet trolling thing that people just went to the next level to do, but these people just genuinely seem to believe it. Ugh, just stop. You're wasting resources, time, oxygen. Do you know what? If you believe that the Earth's flat, sail out to the edge and just don't fucking come back. I'm essentially telling you to get in the sea. A few years ago I mentioned about e-cigarettes and how I think they're actually really good. A lot of people I know have switched from smoking to e-cigarettes and they seem healthier, like some of my family members. But recently, the controversy, it's resurfaced. A few people died in America through usage of e-liquids, but what they don't tell you is these e-liquids were black market ones that had harmful chemicals in them, basically, that weren't gone through the proper processes and screening that e-liquids you can buy in shops are. I didn't want to talk about it, but our good friend Trump again, stepping in, swinging his tiny little dick around, saying, "Oh, we should ban all e-cigarettes and stuff." It doesn't sound like I've sounded like Richard Nixon. Just completely overlooking the thousands and thousands of deaths that normal smoking causes per day, and maybe the gun crime that he's fine with sort of allowing to go on by keeping firearms legalized. But he wants to ban these little vapor things because a couple of people died because it was their own stupid fault. I wish he would die because of his own stupid fault, but why is it the evil ones always seem to be immortal? The guy's like in his 70s now. He should be in an old person's home dribbling on his cereal and shitting himself, which he probably does in private, but the media has spun it to make him look like this golden god. But he's far from God. He's god awful. Since December, my last vlog, I have become vegan, stopped eating all that bad shit that comes out of animals and the byproduct of animals. I was vegetarian for years before that, but I thought, fuck it, it's better for everyone really. Except apparently not, because the amount of backlash on the internet from it is just, I think it's just people that don't want to accept change are quite scared. Not everyone who eats meat is like this, but the people that yell about it seem to be quite high in number. It always starts on a Facebook advert about a meat product, and then somebody who isn't a vegan will mention, oh, I bet vegans will hate this, and then that starts a thread. And one of the threads recently was someone accusing veganism of being a cult, and they went into the fact that they have their own specialised banking system, phone numbers and IDs and stuff. Like, what vegans do you know that do this? Can I be part of this cult club? It sounds pretty cool, to be honest. Where did they get that idea from? Like, veganism isn't just an ethical movement and health movement, but a cult. How is it no less of a cult than not being a vegan, or being part of any community for that matter, or being part of anything that has a similar interest? But yet they were decrying it and said, I'm not vegan because poor kids are being brainwashed into being vegan. What, brainwashed into being more compassionate for animals, for the environment, and possibly their own health and well-being as well? Oh yeah, that sounds like a terrible cult. Let's ban it. Let's run in with the flaming torches and stop this horror. The horror. You fucking morons. Are you serious? If it is a cult, like you say, I embrace it. Let's all fucking join. Yeah, let's see what's all about, eh? Let's all join this vegan cult and see how fucked the world is. It won't be, will it? Because every argument that these people have against veganism, there's always a more valid and correct counter argument, which they will just ignore. It just gets stupider and stupider. Like, the cognitive dissonance becomes this, and then eventually their heads will just implode, and then the argument will stop, but it won't stop with them going, maybe you're right. It's usually bacon though. Bacon's not even that good. I remember when I used to eat it, that was one of the first times I choked on a piece of meat, was a fucking big bacon rind when I was 8. Fair enough, I probably didn't chew it properly. Most of it's rind. I mean, yeah, smoked bacon tastes nice, but that's because it's been smoked. You can smoke tofu and it tastes just as nice. I mean, there's fake bacon that's got the similar texture if you really miss it. Bacon though's not a good argument. It being a cult is just the silliest fucking thing. Just fucking grow up. These keyboard warriors online. I mean, I don't want to be that kind of guy, you know, like, just because I do a thing, I'm gonna be what people think is preachy to other people. But also, that's another funny thing where people say, oh, vegans are so preachy, they push their ideas onto everybody else. It's like, you're the one starting the argument, continuing the argument, and saying how good eating meat and killing animals is for your taste buds. All we're suggesting is that it's probably not a good idea. We're not forcing anything down your throat, are we? It's just you that vulnerable and fragile and fickle that you think that words have that big an impact on your life. Silly. So there we have it. Some more examples of how humanity's sunk to new lows, and almost irredeemably so. I guess if we're still around in about 5 years' time, I do another hot potatoes vlog to see what state the world's in at that point. It might be from a bomb shelter. I've almost completely lost faith in humanity at this point. We're just going down the drain, aren't we? We should just stop. Humanity should just stop. Can we just cancel human beings? That would be great. And yes, we will lose a lot of good people, but then the planet would benefit from our absence, I think. Not wanting to end on a terribly downer note, did go to Bloodstock Festival the other week.
Your coat is going to be so glossy.
Is there any more? Any more for any more?
Oh, there was so much more!
I was going to wear that t-shirt, but my washing machine broke recently and it's just spewed the most awful shit all over my clothes that I was washing, so RIP that, I guess. With that in mind, I'll see you next time. Bye. We're not going to include that.
Yeah, as you can see, with that one, comic timing was a bit naff. As always, saving it in the editing studio is something of a skill of mine. You wouldn't believe how we saved our podcast, that was an adventure podcast, that way. There's one episode where I didn't record my co-host's audio separately. I accidentally recorded everything on my computer, so I recorded all the noises that my computer was making, and there's a horrible tinny echo. I think I managed to sort of save that. That is the end of the trilogy of shit videos that Reg did that he didn't want to show the world, but they've been sitting on his hard drive forever, and therefore he did them. I don't know if I'll do any more vlogs of this nature ever again, because you've now seen everything that I've put out or created in that format. I may do a separate vlog at some point in the future, but I'm not gonna promise anything, because last time I promised I'll see you next time. It was 2.5 years ago, whatever it was. I just hope that we survive. As of the day of this recording as well, almost everybody I know has caught it, and somehow I've managed to dodge it. But I think I'm just on borrowed time. It's only a matter of time before I get it. I'm sure I'll survive, but it will suck. Right, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. It was a pleasure doing this little series for you. I hope you enjoy them. I think that's as good a time as any to end. Right, cheers. Bye. The end.